Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Late for the Party on Anchor FM. I am your host, Mellodious, aka Coverboi, the modern marvel. That's right, we're gonna get into. Well, I was gonna get into a word around a campfire, but there's been a couple of topics that have been hitting up on my feed and everything, and we're gonna get into an In My Mind segment on Late for the Party. But pretty much from what I'm hearing and word around the campfire, well, this is also a word around the campfire, but pretty much we're getting I'm getting information that in the new Titans series that they're going to start having Tim Drake, the third Robin, in. But now they're getting a lot of backlash from fans that Tim Drake is going to be being played by a black actor, newcomer named Jay LateForTheParty. It's an interesting last name, but from what it says, it was reported by Variety that the show will finally be bringing in Tim Drake, aka the third Robin, in the fold, but there will be major tweaks to the character. Tim is now set to portray by a black actor, newcomer Jay LateForTheParty, who's famously appeared on Amazon's Father of the Bride. And I think this main topic is basically about the In My Mind part of it is definitely going to be about race swapping characters. To me, I feel like if you're race swapping a character who's already been in the series or in a book or anything that's already been portrayed as that particular person, they should stick to the race and everything that they've already been. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like I can only give the examples of the major characters, especially for instance, the whole thing with Batwoman. Now I haven't seen an episode of any of the Batwoman episodes, but from what I know, when Ruby Rose left the role as Kate Kane, who is Batwoman even in the comic books, but during the series when she left, so they made the conscious decision to create a brand new character to play the role as Batwoman. So the new character, Ryan Wilder, who is the new Batwoman in the show, being played by Javicia Leslie. So pretty much, I mean, when you're creating a character to portray the role is one thing, but when you're creating the character who's been, let's say Tim Drake is white, but then he's been white this entire time in the comic books, let him still be white in the show. I mean, because I'm a firm believer in this. There's been times to where I've always been a comic book buff. I've always loved comic books, but the thing is, most of the characters who I couldn't relate to until other than Black Panther, but then that's why Dwayne McDuffie created Milestone Comics to where we got characters like Icon and Static and Hardware, and Kevin Garreau making freaking Blue Marvel. My thing is just let's create new characters. Another example, Nick Fury. Nick Fury was white the entire time until the Ultimate series came out and in the comic books, and then they started drawing Nick Fury black and making him look like Samuel Jackson from Shaft, and they decided to roll with that Samuel Jackson. So, there's some exceptions to the rule when it comes down to race swapping, but I think just to be blatantly, to where you're blatantly race swapping characters just to fill a void of like, okay, well, we're gonna do this so we can just have this status quo straighten out. I mean, like, for instance, when Michael B. Jordan played the Human Torch, that was stupid. That was completely stupid. I mean, if you're gonna just race swap one character just to fill in a void, just to appease a crowd, no, I feel that's a cop-out. Like, you've made these characters the way they are, and they've been this way for so long, but then you want to make the conscious decision to make these changes. I feel that's a little, I feel like they're doing that just because, and it's like, oh, we're just trying to appease. Like, look, I'm a black man, and I feel like, no, okay, I like to see black characters and everything, but let's make new characters. Let's make new characters, new ideas. Like, I didn't mind the fact that when they changed Batwoman, they changed the character. They didn't make a black Kate Kane. They made a new character to fill in that void, which I always liked about DC comic books in general. Like, if a character died, if like Barry Allen died, and then Wally West became the new Flash, okay, cool. Well, because he was already Kid Flash, so that makes perfect sense. So, like, if a character, the thing is, stuff like that makes sense. Or, like, okay, in the comic books, they've started making the decision to create Nick Fury in the alternate universe to where he's black, but then next thing you know, he's famous. He got famous because the artist started drawing him like Samuel L. Jackson, and then they made the conscious decision to be like, Samuel L. Jackson was like, oh, you guys are using my likeness, so instead of me suing Marvel, how about if you guys make a comic book movie, let me portray the role? Makes perfect sense, For somebody to be like Michael B. Jordan to play Human Torch when he's always been white, but then all of a sudden you want to make him black, and then he has a sister who's also white. But that doesn't make any sense, and so you want to go the reverse Webster route and make her adopted. Really? Really, dude? Come on, that doesn't make any sense to me. That's like saying, okay, we're going to make Black Panther white. We're going to race swap with Black Panther and we're going to just make him white. Does that make any sense? Of course not. Just some things don't make any sense. Like, there's some things that about it already that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, Mary Jane. Mary Jane's always been white to me. So, don't get me wrong. It doesn't really, like for major characters, it kind of makes sense. But for minor characters, it's like, okay, they're minor characters, so they're not really playing a pivotal role. But when it's kind of like it's not even a slippery slope. I feel like it could be one thing over the other. So it's like, it just depends on the situation. That even goes for gender swapping too, to me. Like, I felt that was kind of disrespectful what they did in Captain Marvel by gender swapping Captain Marvel for Annette Bening. I'm just like, what? Like, no, you just, y'all doing the most. Like, look, keep your main character, keep continuity the way it is. And I'm probably, when it comes down to comic books and anything like that, I'm more of a stickler when it comes down to the continuity, because it's already been there. Shit, most of this stuff has been around since I've been born. So let's just keep it the way it is. I'm a firm believer, if you're gonna do swapping, like race swapping or anything like that, then just make a brand new character. Make a brand new character playing that role, or whatever the case may be. It just makes more sense to do it that way than just okay? Like, hell, they even did that even, it's not even that they did it in anything else. I mean, I just feel like, with the whole Tim Drake thing, I can understand that. But then again, if you think about it, like, there's a couple of things, even with Slade Wilson being in Teen Titans, he was being played by, I forgot his name, but he was in La Bamba, I believe. So, I mean, there's just a lot. There's a lot when it comes down to race swapping and race swapping certain characters for, like, certain things. And I'm a firm believer, just stick to the continuity. If you're going to stick to the continuity, stick to the continuity. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got to set the tone because of the times, that's one thing. But if you're just setting the tone just to appease a certain crowd because, oh, well, there's not enough black people or anything like that, so we're going to make this character who's been this way this long black or Hispanic or anything like that. No, I'm a firm believer, like, okay, Miles Morales, prime example. Okay, we got Peter Parker playing Spider-Man for how many years now? And then all of a sudden, oh, let's make Peter Parker black. No, let's not do that. Let's just make another character. Okay, if you want a black, okay, let's make Miles Morales. Bam, there you go. So now he's Spider-Man too. So boom, boom, there you go. Prime example. That also works as well. So I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. It's just, I think it's just people are just trying to appease everybody so people just don't get pissed off at each other. So either way, like I said, you guys, this is basically the word around the campfire / in my mind segment on Late for the Party on Anchor FM, you guys. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that to the podcast on Anchor and my YouTube channel on YouTube. I said that twice. Oh, God, it's so early in the morning. I'm tired. Either way, you guys, please well, I already said it already. Damn. Either way, the link will be in the description once I upload everything to my social media. Also, check out the Late for the Party store, where you can see all the cool merch on Teespring.com. Either way, you guys, I am your host, Mellodious, a.k.a. Coverboi, the Modern Marvel, signing off. And as always, if you're going to be late for the party, turn it up to 11.